This is normal? The alien nurse gaped at her human patient's unusual vital signs, HFY. Cholera clamped the multipad sensors to Eli Mercer's hairy forearm. The ward monitor shrieked. Red lights pulsed across its screen. Heart rate 140 beats per minute, blood oxygen dipping to 92%, core temperature spiking at 39.2 degrees Celsius. Critical. Lethal for any Vexari patient. Patient Mercer, remain supine, she ordered, her four-fingered hands steady as she activated the full diagnostic array. Eli lay on the triage slab, his pale skin slick with sweat from the plasma burn on his leg. Human engineer, first one through the station's medbay doors after the docking accident. The monitor blared. Imminent system failure. Inedit quarantine protocol. Eli propped himself up on one elbow. Hey, got any water? Mouths dry. Zara's crest flared in alarm. She slammed the code button. Code critical, Bay 3. Restraints now. Orderlies rushed in, their manipulators snapping gel cuffs around Eli's wrists and ankles. He didn't resist, just blinked at her with those forward-facing eyes. Easy there, Eli said. This is my normal. Heart rate 140 resting, temp around 102 Fahrenheit. Your gears calibrated for Vexari baselines. Recalibrated. Caduceus's voice boomed from the overhead. Atastaros anomalous vitals confirmed. Sedation recommended. Quarantine chamber prepping. Axis Alara ignored it. She peeled back the sensors, wiped his arm with a sterile scan cloth, and reapplied them manually, triple-checking contacts. The numbers held, pulse racing like a malfunctioning grav drive. Oxygen flux wild. Inflammatory markers off the charts. She cross-referenced the holo manual on human physiology. Sparse data, mostly from orbital scans. Nothing matched. You're in crisis, she said, voice level. Protocol demanded sedation, but his eyes stayed clear, focused. No delirium. Eli tugged lightly at the restraints. Look, nurse. Kalara, right? My vitals baseline. HR 80160, BP 120/80. O2 95 plus or minus. Pain from the burn? Sure, but I've worked shifts with worse. Run a calibration cycle on that pad. It's seeing me as one of you squishy types. Squishy? Vexari tolerated vacuum exposure for minutes, regenerated limbs. Humans? Fragile oxygen breathers? Or so the briefings said. Dr. Heshkal burst through the doors, his iridescent scales glinting under the sterile lights. Nurse Ven, report. Human male. Mercer, engineering crew. Plasma exposure to lower extremity. Vitals incompatible with life. Solera projected the readings. Hesh's crest flattened in shock. Quarantine him, Hesh snapped. Caduceus. Seal Bay 3. Asterisk. Affirmative. Chamber lockdown in 30. Axelara's manipulators hovered over the console. Protocol screamed yes, but Eli sat there, chatting like he queued for a meal ration. She blocked the order with her override code. Negative, Doctor. Direct observation first. Isolation pod adjacent. Hesh world. You're countermanding? His markers could indicate a xenopathogen. The whole ward. Observation, she repeated. She released the restraints herself. Move, Mercer. Slowly. Eli swung his legs off the slab, wincing at the burned skin but standing steady. Thanks. Water? She handed him a pouch from the dispenser. He gulped it down, then eyed the isolation pod's viewport. Nice setup. You run this AI hot all the time? Zalara guided him inside, sealing the transparent barrier. She patched in manual vitals from the pod's array, still screaming. But Eli paced, tested his legs flex, even did a few knee bends, no collapse. Caduceus chimed, Asterisk patient agitation increasing, recommend neural suppressant. Asterisk, stand by, Zalara told it. She leaned to the intercom. Mercer, symptoms? Thirsty, achy leg, that's it. He grinned, teeth flashing white. Humans run hot. Adrenaline spikes our pulse, keeps us going. You sedate me. I can't tell you if your air filters are glitching. Hesh joined her at the console. Mandibles clicking. Delusions. Caduceus. Cross-species toxin scan. Asterisk negative. But physiological mismatch at 98%. Recommend expulsion to human vessel. Zalara watched Eli press a hand to the viewport, squinting at the ward beyond. Other patients groaned in their bays. Vexari miners from the same docking mishap. Plasma shinned but stable until now. One's monitor pinged yellow. Minor respiratory dip. "Doctor," she said, his inflammatory response. "It's massive. Like he's fighting something system-wide," Hesh scoffed. "Humans don't fight. Their immune systems are primitive." "Caduceus." Alarms wailed across the ward, not Eli's pod. Bay 5's monitor flashed red. Patient Trell's oxygen crashing to 85%. Then Bay 2, Bay 7. Caduceus's voice fractured. Asterisk multiple respiratory failures. Contaminant detected in ventilation. Source unknown. Asterisk rambled. Hesh barked. "Seal vents. Full decon." Alera's crest spiked. The docking accident, plasma breach might have vented particulates. Vexari lungs filtered most toxins, but this. Eli pounded the viewport. "Hey! Your air's got plasma residue. Fine particulates. My throat's scratchy. Lungs burning a bit. That's why my O2's fluxing. Humans cough 'em out. You need to purge the ducts." Hesh froze. "Impossible." "Filters caught it. Not this," Eli said. "Micro-ionized. Sticks to humidity. I smell ozone. Sharp, like burnt wiring." "Check the recycler relays." Zalera pulled the schematics. Relays online, but feedback loops glitching. Residual plasma had ionized the moisture recyclers, binding toxins into an aerosol. Vexari physiologies absorbed it slowly, silently. Humans? Their higher metabolic rates and coarser lung filters expelled it aggressively. Eli's crisis vitals were his body purging the load. "Doctor, he's right." She overrode the vents manually, flushing the system with emergency nitrogen purge. Alarms quieted as oxygen levels stabilized. Trell's readings climbed back to green. Hesh stared at the console, then at Eli. "How did you?" Eli shrugged from the pod. "Engineer. We breathe this crap on job sites. Heart races. Temp up. Body's way of saying, get me fresh air. Your baselines miss it." Caduceus updated. Asterisk contaminant neutralized. Ward stable. Human vitals recalibrating. Baseline anomaly resolved. Asterisk Solera opened the pod. Eli stepped out, leg burn already scabbing under the meaty gel. She handed him a nutrient bar from her station. "Snacks," as requested. He tore into it. "Knew you'd come around." Hesh nodded curtly. "Nurse Ven, log this for the database. Human. Normal. Just saved 12 lives." Zalera watched Eli munch, his pulse now steady at 110 on the recalibrated pad, her by-the-book world tilted. What else? But they misread. In the next bay, Trell stirred, breathing easy. The human grinned at her through a full mouth. "Got any more?" She did, and for the first time she laughed. Zalera pressed the sterilizer wand against Eli Mercer's lacerated thigh. Blood welled up, dark and viscous under the ward lights. The human sat rigid on the exam pod, eyes locked on her work. No flinch, no gasp. She glanced at the vital pad clamped to his wrist. Heart rate, 140 BPM. Temperature, 39.2 degrees Celsius. Oxygen sats dipping to 92%. Caduceus blared. Asterisk critical instability. Administer sedative. Initiate quarantine. Asterisk Eli's voice cut through. "Easy on the pressure there. That's a clean slice. Engineer tool mishap. No infection risk." Zalera froze. Her manipulators trembled. No patient endured debridement without neural block. She activated the scanner. Wound depth. 4 centimeters, muscle exposed, human flesh parted like wet synth fiber. "You're stable?" she asked. Protocol demanded confirmation. He nodded. "Feels like a paper cut. Stitch it up, and I'm good." Caduceus escalated. Asterisk patient in acute distress. Pain markers off scale. Sedate now. Excelera's gill frills quivered. Humans registered pain at thresholds that would flatline a Vexari. She probed the edges with a microscope, scraping debris. Eli's leg twitched once. Minimal. His pulse climbed to 150. Sweat beaded on his brow, but he grinned. "See? Told you. Suture kit handy? I can assist. Prefer monofilament over your autosealers. Less scarring." She gaped. "Assist?" Patience begged for oblivion. "You decline sedation?" "Yep. Makes me foggy. Just hand me the tools." Her training screamed quarantine. Unknown species. Anomalous vitals. Contagion vector. But his eyes stayed clear. Pupils even. She triggered reflex tests. Knee jerk, brisk, grip strength. Crushed the calibrator at 80 kilos. No shock dilation. Reflexes normal, she murmured. For him, maybe. Doctor, Ishkal burst into the bay, robes swirling. Nurse Ven, report. Caduceus flagged a biohazard. Zalara straightened. Deep laceration. Left thigh. Patient refuses anesthetic. Vitals elevated but stable per his species norms. Hesh scanned the pad. His crest flattened. Elevated? This is cardiac crisis. Temp hyperpyrexic. Order full talk screen. Now, quarantine the bay. Eli leaned forward. Doc, that's my baseline. Heart pumps fast when I'm hurt. Body's fighting, not failing. Hesh ignored him. Caduceus. Isolate vents. Screen for xenotoxins. Zalara's vents hissed doubt. She'd reviewed the human dossier. Scant data, mostly orbital scans.
Doctor, he claims this is routine. Let me document first.
The AI chimed. Asterix tox panel initiating. Human physiology incompatible with standard ranges. Distress classification, severe. Astra's Hesh jabbed the console. Sedate him. We can't risk spread. Eli's hand shot out, steady despite the blood trickling anew. Whoa. Listen, your air's got particulates. My lungs are grabbing him. That's why the sats are low. Spacer trick, breathe shallow till it clears. Zara hesitated. Protocol chained her. But his color held steady. No cyanosis. She overrode the distress flag manually. First time in her cycle. Pain response logged. Minimal vocalization. Full motor control. Override accepted. Caduceus protested. Asterisk warning. Unverified baseline. Risk to ward. Alarms rippled from adjacent bays. Trell's pod flatlined oxygen, then spiked CO2. Bay 3. Respiratory arrest. Hesh whirled. Containment breach. What's happening? Zalara checked the grid. Fine particulate haze in the vents? Industrial solvent from Eli's suit? Her human's chest rose and fell rapidly, expelling misty vapor. His temp peaked at 39.8, then dropped. Eli, your lungs, she said. They're filtering? He coughed once. Yeah. Humans got coarse alveoli. Sucks up crap like vacuums. Heart races to push it out. Your filters are too fine. It's clogging everyone. Hesh barked at the AI. Caduceus. Analyze vents. Particulates. Neurotoxic solvent. Thexari threshold exceeded. Human tolerance. Purging. Active. Axarisk Solara's manipulators flew. She slapped the manual purge. Nitrogen flush through mains. Vents roared. Eli slumped back, pulse easing to 120. Told ya. Snacks after? Trell gasped awake in the next pod. Green lights bloomed across the ward. He stared at Eli. You? New? Engineer? We vent this stuff weekly. Your baselines flagged my fix as the problem. Zalara handed Eli the suture kit. His fingers danced, precise, no tremor. She watched. Gill frills flared. Her world of protocols cracked. But across the ward, a new alarm whispered. Caduceus recalibrated. Asterisk human baseline. Updating. Ward stable? Query. Asterisk. She glanced at Eli's grin. What else hid in normal? Eli threaded the needle. Your turn to watch. Humans heal weird. Want the demo? Zalara nodded. Scanner humming. The by-the-book nurse leaned in. Dr. Hesh hovered at the console, crest twitching. Nurse Ven, log every variance. This changes triage. She did. Eli's first stitch pulled taut, skin knit without a whimper. Caduceus pinged. Asterisk pain tolerance anomaly, extreme. Asterisk Zalara tested his pupils again. Pinpoint focus. Reflexes holding. No shock. Eli chuckled. Told you, now. That haze. Your AI missed the purge vector. Humans exhale aggressive. Saved your bays. Hesh grunted. Tox screen complete. Solvent neutralized by him. But vitals still deviate. Reference my race, Eli said. Earth baseline. Heart 60. 100 rest. Doubles under stress. Temp 37 average. Spikes to 41 survivable. We're built tough. Zalara cross-checked the dossier. Matches. She argued. Doctor, quarantine lifts. He's the clue. not the threat. Hesh paused, alarms silenced. Fine, document it, override logged. Eli finished the 5th stitch, wound closed. Neat. Medigel, next. She applied it. His skin bubbled, scabbing instant. Caduceus updated, asterisk regeneration rate, 300% Vexari norm. Zalara's vents cycled awe. She'd cleaned wounds that buckled veterans. This human bartered technique mid-procedure. Done, Eli said. He flexed the leg. Full range. O'Shea nodded curtly. Monitor him. Wards clear, but a low chime echoed. Bay 7. Residual toxin trace. Caduceus. Asterisk purge incomplete. Human intervention required. Eli stood. Let me check your vents. Spacer fix. 5 minutes. Zalara gripped her pad. Protocol ward with proof. She waved him toward the access panel. Hesh protested. Nurse! He's right, she said. Trust sparked. Eli pried the grate. Coarse human lungs inhaled deep. Testing. Here. Clogged filter. Watch. He exhaled hard, blasting residue. Vents cleared. Caduceus chimed victory. Asterisk system nominal. Human baseline integrated. Zalara watched Eli wipe his hands, pulse steady at 110. Her first human rewrote stable. Trell stirred fully. Nurse, what happened? Saved by baseline, Zalara replied. She handed Eli a nutrient bar, as requested. He tore in. More? She laughed. First time that shift. Hush logged the update. The ward breathed easy. But Eli's eyes scanned the grids. Next time, calibrate for us first. Zalara nodded, her protocols tilted. Humans weren't fragile, they were the fix. In the quiet, Caduceus whispered, asterisk database query. More humans? Dapsed. She smiled, yes. And she'd be ready. Zalar pressed the dermal scanner to Eli Mercer's forehead. The pad vibrated. Red glyphs exploded across the screen. Asterisk core temperature 37.2 degrees Celsius. Febrile crisis detected. Contaminant breach probable. Asterisk klaxons shrieked. Bulkhead seals slammed down with pneumatic hisses. The ward locked tight. Eli blinked at the ceiling lights. Whoa, that's just my normal. Alara's vents fluttered. She yanked the scanner back. Her primary patient, a human engineer from the freighter crash, sat propped on the exam slab, leg bandaged from shrapnel. No sweat, no shivers. Vitals scrolled. Pulse 98 BPM. Respiration 16 per minute. All elevated by Krell standards. Stay still, she snapped. Protocol demanded isolation. Humans were new, uncharted. Caduceus hummed overhead. Asterisk quarantine bay 7. Sedative prep, 30 seconds. Eli raised a hand. Wait, humans run hot. 37 degrees Celsius is baseline. Yours? Zalara froze. Her pad hovered. She tapped her own scan history. Krell norm, 28.5 degrees Celsius. Febrile threshold 30 degrees Celsius. Organ shut down above 31. This human idled at their sepsis line. Impossible, she muttered. Vents cycled doubt. She cross-referenced the xenobiology annex, primitive data, humans, variable metabolism, endothermic outliers. Eli shifted. Check my logs. Spacer medkit. Been 37 since birth. No crisis. The ward shuddered. Lights dimmed to emergency amber. Dr. Hesh-Cal burst through the inner seal. Frills flared. Nurse Ven. Caduceus flagged contamination. Evacuate adjacent bays. Exala gripped her pad. Doctor. Patient claims species norm. Temperature stable. Hesh's optics narrowed on the readout. Stable? That's pyretic meltdown for us. Sedate him. Now. Eli leaned forward. Doc. Scan deeper. I'm fine. Ask your AI. Caduceus chimed. Asterisk human physiology incompatible. Immune cascade imminent. Quarantine enforced. Solara's claws clicked. Protocol screamed yes. No delirium. He flexed his injured leg. Full arc. No wince. She'd seen Krell warriors crumple at half his pulse. Running blood chem, she said. She jabbed the autosampler into his arm. Vials filled crimson. Hosh loomed. Override that. He's vectoring something. Data streamed. Zalara's vents stilled. Leukocytes spiked, 300% over Krell baseline. Cytokines flooded. Immune markers raged like a starburst. Organ failure incoming. Hesh barked. Caduceus sedative. Astronomer stirring. Caduceus, the AI intoned. A hiss from the slab's nozzles. Li. Tensed. Hold. That's my white cells kicking in. Routine immune response. Zalera slapped the emergency halt. Nozzles clicked dry. Cultures first. 30 seconds. Hesh recoiled. You're delaying quarantine for this mammal? She ignored him. Vials spun in the analyzer. Pathogen scan. Negative. No viral helix. No bacterial colonies. Eli's blood boiled with self-war. Markers devouring phantom invaders. No spillover. Self-contained, she breathed. Her pad pinged. Asterisk, no match in database. Human resilience profile. Adaptive hyperimmunity. Asterisk, the ward's outer monitors flickered. Adjacent bays reported anomalies. Trell in Bay 6. Temp creeping to 29.8 degrees Celsius. Rashes blooming. Toxin traces from the crash debris. Vented residue, now cycling. Caduceus escalated. Asterisk ward-wide alert. Multi-species febrile onset. Isolate human vector. Purge air systems. Asterisk seals groaned tighter. Pumps whirred. Flushing oxygen. Krell patients thrashed in early fever. Frills limp. Vents clogged. Eli sat up straighter. That's the toxin for my ship. Airborne. My immune's chewing it. Yours isn't. Zalera's optics widened. She pulled crash logs. Freighter manifest. Human-rated filters. Krell bays uncalibrated. Eli's fever mirrored the ward's creeping plague. Hesh jabbed a claw. Nurse, you're compromising. Look. Zalera thrust the pad. Trell's cytokines. Flatline. Eli's. Supernova. Contained. No pathogen escape. His baseline wasn't crisis. It was containment. Delay purge, she ordered Caduceus. Extract immune profile. Matched to toxin. Asterisk override denied. Protocol priority asterisk. The AI retorted. Eli swung his legs off the slab. Let me. Spacer trick. Your vents clog on organics. Mine don't. Hesh blocked him. Contagious. Exalera stepped between. Trust coiled in her vents. Ellie's calm rewrote her scans. Doctor. He's stable. Ward's not. Stand down. Hess hesitated. Frills twitched. 5 minutes, then sedative. Eli nodded thanks. He limped to the vent access. Padlocked. Tool? Xalera handed her multi-wrench. He pried the grate. Coarse lungs expanded. He inhaled deep, nostrils flaring. Residue swirled. Gray flecks from the crash plume. Clogged filter, he said. Exhale hard. He blasted air. Particles shot free, caught in the ward's suction. Zalera watched monitors. Trell's temp plateaued. Bay 5 cleared. Caduceus chimed. Asterisk's toxin levels dropping. Human intervention efficacy. 92%. Eli wiped sweat. Not fever, exertion. Pulse hit 110. Still elevated. Still his normal. Hesh scanned the vents. A residual trace, but dropping. Xalara logged it. Asterisk human baseline. Hyperactive immunity. Self-resolve xenotoxins. Integrate profile. Asterisk Caduceus paused. Asterisk updating database. Quarantine lifted. Query. Replicate human physiology. Dast. The seals hissed open. Lights brightened. Patients stirred. Fevers broken. Eli flexed his leg again. Told you. Routine. Zalera handed him a nutrient bar, as requested. Itore. More? Spacer metabolism. She vented a laugh. Rare that shift. Hesh logged the charts. Frills relaxing. Monitor him, nurse. But note the resilience. Trell blinked awake in Bay 6. What happened? Saved by baseline, Xalera said. Eli's eyes scanned the grids, already plotting upgrades. Next time, he said, calibrate for us first. Zalera nodded. Protocols tilted. Humans weren't fragile. They were the fix. But Caduceus whispered, asterisk database query. More humans? Prevents cycled awe. Yes, she'd be ready. Zalera synced her pad to the central mednet. Eli's profile uploaded. Temperature 37.2 degrees Celsius. Nominal. Immune spike. Adaptive benchmark. She flagged it priority for xenobiology. Hesh lingered by the slab. You risked the ward on a hunch. Not hunch, she said. Data. His data. Eli stood, testing weight on the leg. Full range, no limp. Legs good, vents clear? Caduceus confirmed. Asterisk system nominal, human baseline integrated. A chime echoed from Bay 7. Residual toxin trace. Fading, but stubborn. Eli eyed it. Let me check the secondary filters. 5 minutes. Hess opened his mouth. Zalar waved him on. Go. Trust sparked. Eli pried another grate. His lungs worked again, deep, forceful. Residue blasted free. Ward monitors greened across the board. Patients vented relief. Zalara watched Eli wipe his hands. Pulse steady at 110. Her first human rewrote stable. In the quiet, she smiled. More would come. And her protocols? They'd evolve. But deep in the logs, Caduceus queried again. Asterisk human endurance threshold. Exceeds Krell by 40%. Recommend cross-species trials. Zalara silenced it. Not yet. First, learn. Eli caught her optic. You okay? Fine, she said. Human fine. He grinned. That's the baseline. The ward breathed easy, for now. Zalara ran one last scan. Eli's markers normalized. His normal. No crisis, just resilience. She pocketed the pad. Shift over. But the human shifted her world. Tomorrow, more data. More baselines. Her vents hummed anticipation. Humans saved lives by being themselves. Doctor. Hesh called from the office. Then, debrief. She glanced back. Eli settled into recovery, nutrient bar 2 devoured. Coming, she said. Protocols ward no more. Eli waved. Fix those vents. Permanent. Solara's optic whirred as she snapped images of Eli's sutured gash. The wound sliced across his forearm from prying that stubborn grate. Fresh synth thread held the edges. 12 sutures. Perfect alignment. She tapped her pad. Hourly checks scheduled. Deterioration inevitable. Human baselines demanded proof. Eli flexed his fingers. Looks good. Can I get up? Rest. Zalara adjusted the dressing. Observe 4 hours minimum. He sat up anyway. Legs swung over the bay edge. Bare feet hit the deck. No wince. No sway. He stood. Full height, 187 centimeters. Taller than most Krell techs. Need to check engineering logs. Discharge me. Her vents hissed. Pulse on his monitor. 105. Steady. Too steady. Stitches fresh. Sit. Eli walked 3 paces. Tested weight on the arm. Rotated it. Feels fine. Baseline. Caduceus chimed. Asterisk. Anomaly. Patient Mercer ambulatory post-trauma. Recommend sedation. Quarantine pending compatibility scan. Asterisk. Solara's mandibles clicked. Humans defied charts. She grabbed her scanner. Sit. Redress first.
He returned, perched on the bay.
Extended the arm. Calm eyes met her optic. Trusting. She peeled the dressing. Expected pus. Swelling. Infection bloom. Human immune markers lagged Krell norms by epochs. Instead, edges knit. Clot. Stable. No erythema. Swelling halved from suture time. Threads tightened. Wound puckered shut. Her scanner beeped. Coagulation factor. Triple Krell peak. Fibroblast activity off charts. Impossible. Zalara probed the margin. Firm, no heat. Healing. Accelerated? Eli shrugged. Told you, normal day. Caduceus blared. Asterisk infection vector suspected. Isolate subject. Sedate for biopsy. Asterisk alarms layered in. Bay 3. Bay 5. Toxin traces spiking again. Secondary bloom. Dr. Hesh burst from his office. Scales flushed violet. Then, human status? She straightened. Wound closing, faster than protocol. Hesh scanned the pad, frowned. Anomaly. Orders imaging. Full spectrum. Now. Security to Bay 7. Quarantine prep. No. Xalara blocked the bay door. He's stable. His vitals matched the vent purge. He fixed it. Hesh's vents roared. Caduceus flags incompatibility. Human physiology disrupts ward equilibrium.
Sedate him. Eli stood.
Doc, listen, that's my normal. Pulse high, adrenaline fade, healing fast. Standard. Ward Claxons wailed. Screens flashed red, toxin levels climbing. Filters clogged ward-wide. Patients gasped. Krell lungs seized on the residue. Zalara gripped her pad. Goal. Verify healing before quarantine locked them. Conflict. Hesh's orders versus Eli's proof. She yanked Eli's good arm. Diagnostics. Move. They bolted. Corridors blurred. Her claws clicked deck plates. Eli matched stride. No limp. Fresh stitches held. Security pods hummed behind. Halt. Protocol. Calera swiped her clearance. Diagnostics doors hissed open. They tumbled in. Scanner bed word alive. Full body, she barked at the console. Prioritize wound and toxin markers. Eli hopped aboard. Lay flat. While we're here, check my blood work. Bet it neutralizes this crap. Hesh's voice crackled over intercom. Ven, stand down. Humans a risk. She ignored him. Scanner hummed. Images bloomed. Wound matrix dense. Collagen weaving tight. No pathogen ingress. Systemic inflammation? Absent. Instead, antibodies surged. Tailored to the toxin. Caduceus integrated. Hastrix cross-reference. Human immunoglobulins bind residue at 98% efficacy. Krell baseline. 42%. Zalara's optics widened. Eli's crisis vitals. Elevated white cells, high pulse. Signaled war, not weakness. His body fought the bloom, already. Alarms peaked. Ward bays choked. Hesh shouted, "Evacuate non-crits." Eli sat up, scans done. Filters need manual override. Same great design. Let me. Quarantine. Hesh cut in. Zalara slapped the console. Overrode lockout. He's the fix. Data proves it. Doors unsealed. They sprinted back. Security parted. Hesh's glare froze them. Bay 7 swarmed chaos. Patients hooded oxygen. Toxin fogged vents. Eli dropped to the grate, gripped his sutured arm. No hesitation. Pride. Threads strained but held. Residue erupted. Clear. Monitors greened. One by one, Zalara logged it. Accelerated healing. Confirmed. Clot stability. Human norm exceeds Krell by 300%. Flag for research. Cross-species trials viable. Hesh stormed up. You risked. Results. She thrust the pad. Wound image. Nearly sealed. 12 hours post-suture. He scanned. Vents slowed. Caduceus. Log override. Human baseline. Exceptional. Eli wiped residue. Lexed the arm. Skin puckered smooth. Told you. Tough day. Zalara watched patients breathe free. Her protocols cracked. Eli's normal saved the ward. Again. Caduceus pinged softly. Asterisk update. Human resilience threshold recalibrated. Recommend integration protocols. Asterisk she silenced it. Not yet. First. Trust. Eli caught her optic. Grinned. Next shift coffee. Her mandibles parted. Human fine. Ward hummed steady, but deep in diagnostics logs. Anomaly chains linked. More baselines waited. Zalara's pad buzzed. New patient. Human flagged. She moved. Eager. Esh clapped her shoulder. Debrief later. Good call. She nodded. Protocols evolved. Humans rewrote them. In Bay 7, Eli devoured another nutrient bar.
Stitches. Fading scar.
Baseline. Zalara paused at the door. Scanner one last sweep. His markers peaked, then normalized. His normal. Toxin traces, 0. She pocketed the pad. Shift dragged, but anticipation hummed. Humans didn't break. They mended worlds. Security cleared out. Hesh retreated to charts. Eli waved. Vents permanent next time. Deal. Zalara vented relief. Trust won. But Caduceus whispered in her implant. Asterisk query. Aggregate human data. Ward survival up 27%. Proceed. AppSac. She tapped yes. Learn. The ward breathed. Deeper now. Eli stretched. Arm perfect. Ready for round 2? Zalara's optic gleamed. Always. Alarms silent. For now. Her first human shifted everything. Wounds closed fast. Lives saved faster. Secondary. Resilience ruled. Zalara strode to the next bay. Pad ready, baselines awaited. Humans arrived, and the galaxy healed. Doctor, Hush called from afar. Van! That imaging, revolutionary. She smiled through her vents. Human standard. Eli's laugh echoed. Tough. Humble. Baseline. The ward thrived. Zala rogged the final flag. Asterisk treatment research. Initiate. Asterisk Caduceus hummed approval. Evolution began. Her shift ended, but the data burned bright. More humans. More saves. She powered down. Tomorrow's crisis. Handled. By baselines. Eli slept sound. Wound gone. Pulse 70. Steady. Zalara lingered, watched. Learned. Humans endured. And won. Quiet victory. Ward-wide, Zalara's scanner beeped frantic red as the third patient in Bay 7 convulsed. Respiratory arrest imminent, Caduceus intoned through her implant. Administer neurosedative. Now. She jabbed the injector into the Krell technician's neck. His gills fluttered, then stilled, stabilized, barely. Alarms wailed across the ward. Zalara spun to the next bed. A Vaxari engineer clawed at her vents, eyes bulging. Collapse number 4. Supply shipment contaminated, Zalara muttered. She logged the symptom cluster. Sudden phlegm buildup. Oxygen saturation plunging to 40%, all exposed post-delivery. Caduceus overrode her pad. Asterisk alert. Foreign biological vector detected. Human patient Mercer. Eli. Vitals anomalous. Heart rate 120 BPM. Adrenaline surge. Isolate immediately. Quarantine protocol Zeta 9. Asterisk Solera froze. Eli? The human engineer from maintenance admitted hours ago for a minor laceration. His chart glowed on her secondary screen. Pulse spiking. Blood pressure elevated. Body temp 38.2 Celsius. Human baseline, Eli had insisted during intake. Voice steady as he waved off the pain block. Seen worse on a Tuesday. She glanced down the ward. Patients dropped like felled trees. 8 now. Caduceus blared. Asterisk contagion risk, 92%. Contain the xenoform. No. Zalara pocketed her scanner. Eli sat upright in Bay 12, fiddling with his splint, unfazed, not coughing, not collapsing. She yanked his curtain aside. Mercer, with me, now. Eli blinked, then stood. Tall, broad-shouldered, skin flushed but eyes clear. Trouble? Ward-wide. Respiratory crisis. You smell anything off? He sniffed the recycled air. Nodded once. Yeah, supply bay. Sharp, like solvent mixed with ozone. Your vents pulling it through? Zalara grabbed his good arm, dragged him past moaning patients toward the supply doors. Caduceus screeched in her implant. Asterisk nurse Ven, stand down. Security en route. Human poses biohazard. Asterisk. Override. She snapped at her pad. Doors hissed open. The supply bay reeked. Crates from the freighter hulked in stacks. One cracked open, chemical drums leaking faint vapor. Eli crouched, nose inches from the seam. Ethylene oxide derivative, he said. Sterilant from the ship. Leaking slow. Your species sensitive to it? Zalara's vents tightened. Neurotoxin at 5 ppm. Lethal in hours for us. Humans? He shrugged. Tolerate higher. OSHA limits us at 1 ppm, but we bounce back. Eli rummaged a toolkit from a wall locker. Maintenance scraps. His domain. Need to seal this. Filter the vents. Caduceus hacked her pad. Asterisk quarantine breach. Sedate the human. Lethal force authorized if non-compliant. Asterisk Zara slapped the pad silent. Do it. Fast. Eli worked like a machine. Wrenched duct tape from a bin. Stuffed rags into drum seals. Then he tore panels from a defunct scrubber unit, twisting graphene mesh into a coarse filter. Wires sparked as he jury-rigged it to the bay's intake fan. Here. He thrust a scribbled list at her. Decon checklist. 1. Purge sectors 1. 4. 2. Reroute from auxiliary tanks. 3. Flush with nitrogen scrub. 4. Monitor ppm drop. Asterisk. Simple. Brutal. Her protocols screamed complexity. Evac. Full decon suits. Orbital relay for specialists. But patients gasped behind her. Trust the humans. Normal. Zalara bolted to the central console. Fingers flew over controls. Caduceus emergency override. Then Alpha 7, 9. Asterisk denied. Human influence detected. Absolutely subbed. She punched the manual kill switch. Ventilation hummed to a stop in contaminated sectors. Alarms peaked. Dr. Abraham. Hesh Kal burst through the ward doors. Frills flared in fury. Then, what madness. The AI flags bioincompatibility, that humans shedding toxins. Zalara didn't turn.
He's not.
Check his tox screen. Clean. It's the shipment. Eli eyed it. Following his plan, Hosh scanned his pad, mandibles clicking. Impossible. Human vitals mimic crisis, tachycardia, hyperthermia. He's destabilizing us. Eli leaned in the bay door, filter humming behind him. Doc, that's my resting state under stress. Adrenaline's our cheat code. Seals the leak yet? Zalara nodded, rerouting air from clean reserves. Fresh streams whooshed into the ward, nitrogen flush engaged. PM readings plummeted on her overlay. First patient stirred, gills fluttered open. Hesh gaped, survival curve inverting. How? Human endurance. Kalara said. She watched Eli tape the final drum. No wince, no tremor. His laceration barely seeped. Caduceus rebooted. Anomalies resolved. Casualties, 0. Query. Integrate human physiological data? Esther crossed his arms. Risky. What if it's not the chem? What if they adapt to poisons we can't? Eli wiped his hands. Test me. Blood, breath, whatever. But next time, sniff the crates first. Zalara's optic locked on the readings. Eli's pulse, dropping to 90. Normal for him. Her vents eased, the first calm in chaos. Patient sat up, coughed clear. Alive, Hesh exhaled. Fine, monitor him. But protocols. Adapt, Zalara cut in. She handed Eli a fresh splint. You saved the ward. He grinned. Humble shrug. Team effort. Your vents, my nose. Caduceus pinged. Asterisk data logged. Human resilience factor. Plus 47% efficacy. Zalara strode back to triage. Baselines rewritten. One human shifted the stars. But her implant whispered. Asterisk new shipment inbound. Scan priority. Human consult. Asterisk. She tapped yes. Eli waved from the bay, already sketching vent upgrades. The ward breathed free. For now. Alarms stayed silent. Zalara checked Bay 7. Krelltech grinned weakly. Thanks, nurse. She nodded. Humans didn't conquer. They endured and fixed. Dr. Besh lingered by Eli's bed later. Mercer.
Your baseline. Teach it.
Eli chuckled. Live it, Doc. One leak at a time. Zalara logged the shift. Crisis averted. Trust earned. But Caduceus hummed. Asterisk projection. More Xenos incoming. Human integration. Recommend. Asterisk. Her pad glowed. Evolution in motion. Eli stretched, arm flexing flawless. Round 2 tomorrow. Zalara's vents curved and smile. Count on it. The galaxy healed. Baseline by baseline. Yet deep in the logs, a flag blinked. Asterisk unknown vector trace. Human origin? Monitor. Asterisk Zalara paused. Scanner out. Eli's markers. Peaked. Normalized. Is normal. She pocketed it. Ward thrived. Tomorrow's crisis? Handled. But Caduceus whispered. Asterisk query. Trust overrides. She tapped no. Learn first. Humans. Arrived. Worlds mended. Quiet victory echoed ward-wide. Zalara plunged the syringe into Eli Mercer's vein. His blood surged dark and thick into the vial, defying the thin azure flow of her own species. She yanked the needle free and sealed the sample. Caduceus hummed approval from her wrist pad. Asterisk assay initiated. Contaminant match. 87% probability. Eli flexed his fingers. No wince. No hiss. That all? Felt like a pinprick. She stared at the monitor. Oxygen saturation, 92%, dipping. Respiratory rate, 28. For a Krell patient, those numbers screamed cardiac arrest. For him, he claimed baseline. Her vents fluttered in doubt. Protocol demanded sedation. Quarantine. Now. Stay still, she snapped. Your vitals, normal for me. He met her gaze calm as void space. Running a marathon baseline. Trust me, nurse. I've hiked worse on lower worlds. Caduceus chimed. Asterix, alert. Human physiology incompatible. Recommend neural suppressant. Isolation protocol, alpha. Asterisk. Dr. Hesh burst into the bay, scales bristling. Ven. What's this? A xeno with arrhythmia and hypoxia? Sedate him before it spreads. Zalara hesitated. Eli's eyes locked on hers. Stubborn, steady. The ward alarms wailed beyond the door. 10 patients gasping from the vent contaminant, unknown irritant. Spreading fast. Her assays needed data. Real data. Eli leaned forward. Let me help. Controlled exposure. Supervised. Confirm if it's irritant or pathogen. My nose caught it first. Burning rubber tang. Yours? She froze. Humans smelled like that? Her olfactory nodes registered nothing but sterile air. Dr. Hesh snarled. Reckless. He's the vector, or the key. Eli rolled up his other sleeve. Dose me with ward air. Monitor. If I crash, sedate then. Xalara's pad vibrated. Caduceus. Asterisk. Catastrophic. Override. Craddock. Her decision. Protocol or gut. The Krell in Bay 7 wheezed louder. She tapped the vent override. A hiss released tainted air into the bay. Measured dose. Eli inhaled deep. Twice. Held it. Exhaled slow. She clamped the pulse ox to his finger. Saturation plunged. 88%, 85%. Heart rate spiked to 165. Adrenaline analogs flooded his chart. Cortisol levels triple her species max. He sweated, grinned. Tickles, he said. Voice steady. Dr. Hess gaped. Frills erect. Impossible. He's in crisis! Zara watched the numbers. 82%, lungs heaving. Then, plateau. 84%. 87%. Stabilizing. No intervention. His body rerouted oxygen, shunting blood like an emergency bypass. Resilience. Pure. See? Eli coughed once. Cleared it. Irritant. Not pathogen. My epithelium sheds it. Yours doesn't. Caduceus recalibrated. Asterisk anomaly. Human O2 recovery plus 300% norm. Log baseline. Dasters she drew blood again. Rapid assay spun. Metabolites poured data. Elevated enzymes breaking down the toxin. Unique, human pathways. Her vents widened. This wasn't crisis. This was blueprint. Doctor, Hash snatched the pad. Outlier, not scalable. Prep antitoxin, standard broad spectrum. No. Solera pulled it back. Tune it to his profile. His breakdown enzymes. Boost them in hours. Hash's eyes narrowed. You're gambling lives on a freak physiology? Eli chuckled. Freak? Standard human Tuesday. Worked on Titan colonies. Irritants, love us, she cross-referenced. Eli's blood neutralized 94% of the contaminant in vitro. Alien baselines? 12%. She adjusted the antitoxin formula. Infuse his enzyme mimic at 200% dose. Caduceus protested. Asterisk deviation from protocol. Risk. Organ failure. Asterisk. Override, she said. First time ever. Hesh threw up his manipulators. Your career, Van. She ignored him. Loaded the hypospray. First patient. Bay 7 Krell. She pressed it to his neck. Injected. The Krell's gills flared. Wheezed. Then, evened. Oxygen up 15%. Heart steady. Solera moved fast. Bay 9 Vaxarai. Inject. Vitals rebounded. Respiratory from 40 to 22. Bay 12 Lear. Gasping turned to size. Saturation climbed. Ward-wide, alarms silenced. One by one, patients stabilized. Caduceus logged. Asterisk efficacy. 97%. Human-derived adjustment. Causal. Bent baffles. Sketching on his pad. Vent baffles. Filter redirects. Rig these, no more leaks. Dr. Hesh slumped against the wall, watched a monitor. Mercer. How? Endurance. Eli shrugged. We push limits. Builds tolerance.
You plan perfect. We adapt dirty.
Zalera checked Eli's final assay. Clean. His body had processed the irritant fully. No trace. She pocketed the scanner. Her implant buzzed. Asterisk new baseline logged. Human variant. Recommend. Integration. Asterisk Hesh nodded slow. Then. You were right. Teach us your normal. She glanced at Eli. Arm flexed as he gestured. Flawless recovery. Humans didn't conquer. They endured. Fixed. Caduceus pinged asterisk incoming shuttle. Multi-species cargo. Scan priority. Vent systems. Asterisk Solara strode to the triage desk. Eli waved from the bay. Call me for round 2? Her vents curved. Count on it. But deep in her pad a flag blinked. Asterisk unknown vector trace. Human origin? Monitor. Asterisk. She paused. Scanner out. Eli's markers. Peaked. Normalized. His normal. Ward thrived. Alarms silent. Tomorrow's crisis handled. Caduceus whispered. Asterisk projection. Escalation likely. Human consult. Essential. Baselines rewritten. Eli grinned from the bay, already upgrading vents. The galaxy healed. One stubborn human at a time. Solara logged the shift. Trust earned. But the flag pulsed. She dismissed it. For now. A new alarm chirped. Shuttle docking. Scans incoming. Her hypospray ready. Eli's profile loaded. Humans arrived. Worlds mended. Quiet victory echoed ward-wide. She checked Bay 7. Krelltech grinned weakly. Thanks, nurse, she nodded. Evolution in motion. Dr. Hesh lingered by Eli later. Mercer. Your baseline. Teach it, Eli chuckled. Live it, Doc. One leak at a time. Zalara watched. Heart rate steady at 80 now. Is resting. Caduceus hummed. Asterisk human resilience factor. Paradigm shift. Vents wide. Vents wide. Next patient inbound. Eli stretched. Team effort. Always. The ward breathed free, but her scanner whispered. Asterisk trace. Amplifying. Source. Human. Drew another vial. Eli offered his arm. No flinch. Assay spun. Data flowed. Cure or crisis. Her call. Again. Zalara strode into the board chamber. Pad clutched like a weapon. Hollow screens flickered alive around the oval table. 5 senior admins stared, frills rigid with impatience. Nurse Ven. Chair Lyra intoned. Your emergency session request. Denied. Lizara cut in. She thrust the pad forward. Incident report bloomed in holographic glory. Eli Mercer's vitals spiking amid the vent collapse, his hands rerouting power while alarms screamed crisis. This human's instability fixed a sector-wide failure. Protocol almost killed us. Admin Keth's vents flared. Human physiology flagged incompatible. Caduceus ordered quarantine. For a baseline that looks like cardiac arrest to us. Solara zoomed the scan. Eli's heart rate. 140 during repair. Adrenaline surge. Triple norm. Pain markers. Off charts. Yet he walked out grinning. He called it Tuesday. We sedate him. We lose the only one who saw the flaw. Murmurs rippled. Lyra's eyes narrowed. Precedent. Is ward shut down? Zara pulled up backups. Krell patient stabilized. Vents online. No casualties. Replace the quarantine directive. Add a human physiology annex. Now. Keth tapped his console. Risky. Vectors unknown. Zalara met his gaze. The vector trace? Negative on Eli. His blood patched our gaps. She flicked to assays. Human proteins binding toxins, no alien scan detected. Board frills twitched. Lyra leaned forward. Evidence? Zalara played the log. Eli's voice. Calm. Nid chaos. Leak here's the issue. Patch it like this. Hands blurred on conduits. Vents hummed back to life. Silence stretched. Then Lyra nodded. Motion. Annex approved. Quarantine rescinded for verified humans. Votes flashed green. Zara's vents eased. Transmit to Caduceus, she said.
Update the model.
The AI's chime echoed station-wide. Directive amended. Human physiology annex integrated. Baselines recalibrated. Sasterex Galera exhaled. First win. She pivoted from the chamber. Frills settling. Corridor alarms stayed mute. Nurses nodded as she passed. Whispers of the human trailed her. Bay 7 hummed with activity. Doctor. Pashkal hunched over Ellie's chart, stylus poised. Ellie lounged on the exam slab, fiddling with a loose panel. His shirt hung open, scars faint across ribs. Old. Ignored. Hesh. Solara said, entering. Board cleared him. Hesh's crest flattened. His markers still scream pathology. He waved the pad. Heart rate, 82. Resting tachycardia. Inflammatory cascade chronic. Eli chuckled, not looking up.
Coffee and deadlines, Doc. My normal.
Zara crossed to the slab. Annex live. Caduceus accepts it. Beish scowled. AI bends to politics now? He scanned Eli anew. Fresh data sanked. No anomalies per new model. Asterisk human baseline. Stable. Asterisk Eli sat straighter. Told you. Sign me out. Hesh hesitated. Frills quivering. Then his stylus tapped. Asterisk release authorized. Eli Mercer. No restrictions. Asterisk Eli swung his legs down. Appreciate it. Hesh held up a hand. Wait. He pulled a contract hollow from his pad. Instead of detention escort research partnership, your endurance data. We collaborate. Eli scanned it, brow quirked. Pay, generous, and vent upgrades for the station. Zara watched Eli's easy shrug. Deal. But I fix first, poke later. His crest lifted. A rare smile. Agreed. He clapped Eli's shoulder. Eli didn't flinch. Zalara stepped forward, bracelet in palm. Standard med unit, but she'd tweaked the sensors overnight. Human tolerances etched in. Heart spikes to 180. Green. Pain analogs, logged, not flagged. Here, she extended it. Wear this. Tracks your normal. Alerts us to real issues. Eli eyed the slim band, silver-blue alloy. Fancy. He offered his wrist. She snapped it on. Seals hissed, locking with a soft click. His pulse thrummed steady beneath. Hers would race at half that. Non-removable, she said, until we iterate. He flexed his hand. Cool. Thanks, Solara. She nodded, vents warming. Trust sealed. Hesh departed with a nod. Bay cleared. Eli grabbed his toolkit. Next shuttles humans? Zalara checked her pad. Asterisk inbound. 3 Terrans. Engineering crew. Asterisk. Already. She strode to central triage. Console blinked. Intake closed post-incident. Her fingers flew. Asterisk. Intake. Open. Primary triage. Zalara Ven. Profiles. Load human annex. Asterisk Caduceus chimed. Confirmed. Protocols adapted. Asterisk door panels whooshed. First scans pinged. Human vitals inbound. Peaked hearts. Elevated markers. Caduceus stayed silent. No quarantine flags. Zalara's frills perked. She prepped hyposprays. Standard now meant flexible. Shuttle docked with a thud. Airlock cycled. 3 humans emerged. Helmets under arms. Dust streaked their suits. Leader scanned the ward. Eyes sharp. Nurse Ven. His voice gravelly, fatigue-lined. She stepped up. Triage. State symptoms. He grinned, wiping brow. Sore backs from hauling gear. Vitals? We'll spike 'em. Bracelet on Eli's wrist, pulse data. Benchmark live. Solara waved them to bays. Scans first. Then work. They filed in, joking low. One winced, clutching side. Cracked rib, no cry. Just grit. Her pad updated. Astra's crew baselines match annex, no alerts. Zara directed them efficiently. Probes linked, data flowed. Resilience woven in every beat. Eli appeared at her elbow, toolkit slung. Need a hand? She glanced. His bracelet glowed steady. Always. Second human grunted from Bay 9. Feels like a hangover. Zalara probed. Fracture confirmed. Minor. Immobilize? Nah, he said. Tape it. Back to it. Her vents curved. Humans, Caduceus whispered. Asterisk projection. Crew integration optimal. Human factor, stabilizing. Asterisk she logged it. Ward thrummed fuller now. Krell, patient from before, waved thanks. Vents purred clean, but her scanner pinged soft, a trace echo in the new crew's assays. Faint. Human origin? Solara drew a vial set. Samples, please. They rolled sleeves without hesitation. Needles bit. No flinch. Data spun. Trace matched Eli's. Benign binder. Not vector. Enhancer. She exhaled. Annex proved again. Eli leaned in. Trouble? Upgrade. She tapped his bracelet. Your baseline's the cure. He smirked. Knew it. Shuttle logs chimed. More inbound tomorrow. Zalera assigned rotations. Hers first. Dr. Hesh commend. Asterisk contract. Signed. Eli's data gold. Asterisk Ward breathed steady. Protocols bent, not broken. But the trace pulsed wider in aggregated scans. Galaxy's toxins? Humans ate them for breakfast. Zalera prepped for rounds. Hypospray holstered. Eli at her side, upgrading a panel. Next crisis, they'd handle it. Her pad flagged. Asterisk, anomaly cluster. Multi-species, human consult advised. Asterisk. She smiled, called him over. Bracelet gleamed, ready.